particular
That's it.
ointments.
Yeah, I've actually got that, you know, bro.
Yeah, let's see it.
I've got it, but yeah, we have to add. Is it filming, Alan?
Yep.
This is Dit Dargel. This was given to me by one of my Kung Fu brothers. But the thing is, we have to add brandy to this. You can absorb it. What it is, you apply this over your hand or your arm before training. And also, yeah, go on, my man, yeah. Open it up and then check it out. Yeah, I know the brandy's run out. But all we got to do is add brandy to it. That's a few years old, that is. What they do is they cook it under the earth for like a year or in a dark room. If you put it in a dark room, Alan, and before you train up, you rub it on your hand, and it prevents you from getting rheumatism and arthritis. It stops that totally. So I've been told that some people also can use it for bruises as such, and also arthritic pains, rheumatic pains. So it's very accepted by everybody who trains up in the martial arts. But some people obviously don't know where to find it, and if you find a good Sifu and say his father knows how to make it or grandfather, because it's usually the old timers who know about Dit Dargel. It's something that not many people know about, and the ones that do know about it, sometimes they don't even want to mention it to you. Basically, it's got some special sort of like healing powers, man. I mean, before you train up, you rub it on. And then after you train, and when the training is finished, you can apply a bit as well. So that's Dit Dargel oil. Hopefully we're trying to get some, and we will be selling it in the shop hopefully. But that's in the pipeline. But anyway, so should we get back to the Invincible Armour, Alan?
Right, yeah.
Yep, sure. So Invincible Armour, amazing film. This movie I can watch every day of the week, and you never get bored watching this film basically. And every time I watch it, I seem to see more techniques and styles in the film that I didn't really see earlier. I mean, before when I saw the film. Great movie. The Invincible Armour. So that's that one, my friend. We've got another poster, which is, well, it's a double, because obviously we've got to get 2 or 3 of the same one sometimes, because they sell so well. 8 diagram pole fighters.
That's a nice poster, that.
This poster here, Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha.
Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha. BJ, you're going to get him excited on this one, man.
Oh, most definitely, my man. This is a top dog movie, Alan. A proper late night classic. Do you remember this one?
You see, if you notice, right, yeah? If you notice, I just want to just mention something. If you notice, a lot of people will think, that using Eagle Claw is something different to using Tiger Claw. Now you can clearly see here that this guy is using Tiger here.
Okay.
With his hands, right? These are hands for Tiger, yeah?
Yeah.
But if you look at the weapons that he's using, what weapons do you think he's using in here?
Weapons as in...
What are the tools that he's using in here?
A bow staff.
No, what you can clearly see here is the fact that basically he's using these 3 fingers as the primary tool. So these 2 fingers in Kung Fu basically don't do anything. These 3 fingers are the fingers you use. So you show Tiger just to demonstrate that it's Tiger, but in actual fact you're using these 3 fingers, so you'll be using Eagle.
Sure.
So there should be no difference between Eagle and Tiger.
Okay.
Just to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you added that in. Most definitely, Alan. Yeah. So Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha. He's made about, I would say, over 70 films, or 75, 80, so to speak. But this is the only...
amount.
Yeah, sure. He sure has. He's only made 2 for Shaw Brothers, Wong Chang Lai Rubber Legs. All the rest was made for independent companies. Wang Chang Lee, also known as Silver Fox, in every film he's ever starred in, Alan, he's always been the bad person, the baddie.
The baddie.
This is the only film that you see him in that he's got the good role, basically. Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha. Good training scenes in this film. Good Shaolin monks fighting as well. He just mashes up the scene in this one, Alan. There's actually a scene in it where he jumps up and he actually kicks, believe it or not, 3 different people. And he's the only man in the world that can do that. And that is documented facts. In Kid from Kwantung, I literally slowed it down. And he jumps up in the air and he kicks some person 4 times. It's about 4 or 5 times before he actually lands back on the floor. That's like defying the laws of gravity. It just happens.
Like his flame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just happens that people are different. And when it comes to the legs, he was destined to be the best kicker known to man. People come up to me and ask me all the time. They say, BJ, who do you reckon would win it in a proper duel between Silver Fox and Bruce Lee? And that's a tough one, bruv. That question, I mean, I'm a huge, immense fan of Bruce Lee. I'd have to say Bruce Lee. Me personally, anyway, I'd say Bruce Lee. And I'm expressing my views 100% genuine there. What do you reckon, Swords? Who do you reckon, like, between Bruce Lee and Wang Chan Lee Rubber Legs? It's hard to say.
There's so many different variables.
There is.
You know, it's very difficult to call that one.
It is. It'd be very difficult.
I mean, I'm a fan of Bruce Lee within reason, because obviously,
of course,
with Bruce Lee, there's a lot of. I'll probably upset some people by saying it, but there's a lot of hype around Bruce Lee when he's obviously, because he's been promoted. So he's been elevated to a particular position. So he's seen as a virtual Superman. Do you understand? But there's many martial artists that can do exactly what Bruce Lee did and actually do it better as well. But because they're unknown doesn't mean that it can't be done. And this actor here, he's interesting because a lot of actors used to complain about him. He had a bad press, and the reason he had a bad press because he used to really kick them.
That's correct. Yeah, you're 100% correct there.
He wasn't playing around.
He used to kick them, man.
He was not playing around.
True. My man knows his stuff. What it was. Also, he starred in Drunken Master with.
Sunseed.
Yeah, he started in Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, and he only made 2 films with Jackie Chan, Drunken Master and Snake and the Eagle Shadow. And Jackie Chan apparently didn't want to work with him thereafter because he actually lost a couple of teeth. I read the write-ups on it, where he actually kicked 2 of Jackie Chan's teeth out. Total accident. It can happen. You go through the motions.
Of course.
Because Silver Fox said to him, "Don't get too close." Like when I kick, don't get too close, and it just happened that. Human error, man. I mean,
but
he had a reputation. For kicking.
He did.
Really kick.
He actually kicked a couple of his teeth.
Because basically these guys actually they were all traditional martial artists. Today you can get any Tom, Dick and Harry to come and play himself a martial artist, but back in the day you had to fight your way to be an actual, in the movie. You got to be someone or capable of doing what you're doing. You don't just come from nowhere.
Man in the hand of the Buddha.
This movie is actually. Quite rare as well. It's not one of the more common ones. A lot of people would not have even heard of this movie. And
by the way, we've got the uncut version to this. There's 2 versions on this one. We've got the Korean cut, which you had added scenes added to it, and we've got the English cut, or American cut, as it were. And the American version is a more glossed up print. The Korean version is very ropey. It's a little bit. I think it's about 3 or 4 generations down from the original cut. But this is an amazing film, man. I mean, Wang Chan Lee Rubber Legs, which, by the way, I thought I'd mention it to the people as well who know about Silver Fox. He trained people up for the Korean army in true life. He's Korean in true life. And apparently rumour has it that he trained people up for the CIA. He's a very mystical character.
That's right.
And he is one of the sad things about Wang Chan Lee, he actually killed a man in true life. Yeah. Where someone came at him with a real knife, and Wang Chan Lee warned him many times to put the weapon down, and he approached him with a knife, and with one, apparently he jumped up in the air and he done an axe kick, or either a crescent kick or axe kick, and he killed the man immediately.
Straight procedure.
And he didn't do no prison. He didn't go to prison for it because it's self-defense.
Yep.
And in Korea, it's different laws out there, my friend. If someone comes at him with a knife and you have to defend yourself, and accidentally he killed him.
Yeah. And another thing as well is I heard that this guy, he originally obviously is from Korea.
Of course.
And he left Korea at a certain stage. I don't know whether he fled or not, but he swam the channel to China using a basketball or something like that.
Oh, that's Wilson Tong.
Is that Wilson Tong?
Wilson Tong, yes.
Not this guy.
Nice one. I'm glad you know about that, man.
Yeah, he swam the channel, didn't he?
He's in Snake Deadly Act. And apparently Wilson Tong, he swam the channel with a basketball. Because he was very poor and he wanted to get to a certain part of China. And apparently it was all sharks and all sorts of like creatures.
Risked his life all the way there.
Yeah, he swam with a normal basketball and he survived.
Yeah, because you see today, what that means is, you see today most people respect respect the martial arts through money. They think that if you've got money, then you're somebody. But originally these people were paupers, man. They even leave off these movies. They didn't really get paid. They didn't have any money, basically.
Absolutely.
And they were just what they were. There was no money involved. Not like today's glamour when you think you're Mr. Top Man. You can be where the hell you want to be, but you meet somebody out there basically who can basically challenge you. You cannot be the best man in the world. So these guys prove that.
Yeah, for real. There's a lot of things you can do without money. And the original Drunken Master, they were looked upon as the vagabonds, and they'll do shows way back in the day in China. They'll do untold demonstrations and like Drunken Master like demonstrations, and then at the end of the demonstration they'll take their hat off and you can make a donation to them, like a couple of quid here and there, from the goodness of your heart and the grace of your heart. So the martial arts, they were doing the demonstrations for free, so they weren't taking money off people to train you up. They were doing it totally free. So anyway, so we'll show you the last one there. Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha, this poster, which is a very elegant and vibrant poster. And then we'll take an intermission, and then we'll come back after 5-6 minutes, and then we'll show you some more.
Yep.